January 9th, this is Burra, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency exit. Oh, my emergency stop. Sudo-san took a deep breath and gently slid the bolt. Ah, so of course, that is how the secret room was actually created. What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? I know this guy's voice changed all the time, but don't worry. Ah, you're both unhurt. Good. I don't have to pretend he's a Russian anymore, because they know. Yeah, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something that we were going to collide with another ship. Yeah, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. That person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet place of the ship at the moment. I forgot that other people existed. Oh, I see. Oh my god, what was that? Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You work in the intruder dressed in all black. You are the devil. Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is the first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Yeah? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he had killed a man. How do you know that? Wait a minute. How do you know that, madam? We haven't discussed that, I'm pretty sure. And you stole away as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Good question. Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. Oh, you're lying here. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil. Doesn't look good, does it? There's a cell below deck. There is a cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we talk in Hong Kong. Then we'll give you straight to police. Wait, a cell. Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I gotta find a solution. Immediately. Oh yes, examine everything. Okay. How much... You fucking bastards, you could make me re-inspect everything. Oh. I don't see him. Let's see. Hi. You got yourself in a difficult situation here. By entering the cabin uninvited, I mean... Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I have to take some responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior with a U, by the way, to rescue me from this crisis. You there, Herlock Sholmes! What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes! Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? What? There isn't merely tomfoolery, my boy! Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from the hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if we could bend the conceited-looking horn on the hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, Joachim, the great detective. Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try to look for somewhere other than the wall, than the hook on the wall next time. What is the report? Speak. An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burr, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I'm about to reveal my grand detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh no, is this a dance? Gah, you have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when he found criminal in a wardrobe. It is the stowaway, and he is handcuffed to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must have someone who was inside the cabin. Yeah. Yes, it's what we call a locked room mystery in detective stories. Ah, locked room, that is point. This room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. Ryunosuke, come on, hit him with the facts, boy. There's no way this could have been. Ryunosuke, come on, buddy. Literally like 5 seconds ago, use your brain. There's no way in the book could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there's another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin, despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why? It gapes open-mouthed as you even as we speak. The ventilator, man. The ventilator? You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are thick as tree trunks, bruh. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through the tiny window? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Oh, Pavlova, you're being caught. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean? Are you referring to the word Kazumi-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Grill with an E, by the way. Precisely, my dear madame. But what does it mean? What is a speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! What the? Yep. That's the speckled band, alright. Let me introduce you all to the band. The speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. Oh, that's a big snake. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake is really speckled, is it? Looks more stripy. What do you say? Hmm? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you have to call it The striped band, wasn't it you? You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap in which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's trap. How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explained the what the fuck intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions we've drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, the same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Shums must be right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Hosogi? He can't speak. Looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. Advise as little moon as possible, Seaman. You want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Is it another dance? Oh god. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Intruders and identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smashes with pain. And it is the very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stolen the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Portentous. Why, naturally, it was the friend of which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is a writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victims ran observation on that night in question tell of a speckled band. Regrettably, this specimen's marking do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? When was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes that last night? No, don't look at me. This had nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, this is what you're trying, but failing to conceal. It was a snake sloth skin. What, shed skin? Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my god, where's the water? Oh my god, I had water in here. Where'd it go? I drank it. Oh no! Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered deck the door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In this dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. A snake so dreadful can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Dang, okay, wait, hold on, Sholmes. I think this might be a racism here. A beloved speckled snake. Oh, God. How Mr. Sogi died. Moving on, we're coming to the heart of the matter. The grim demise. I don't know why I couldn't read that. Of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been appraised, it would appear that there is no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be examined by a terrible venom. Explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could that be? Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestige of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There is no point in feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After all, the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? Ooh, a glance. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you choose. That's right. You hid the evidence that leads you to the victim's death in the traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that we heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed, you put the serpents through the ventilator, and wait, after a period, you sounded back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator, down the bell cord, the creature only needed to sink its fang in once. And its victim will course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There could be no doubt, my logic is infallible. Now, as a man who read the oh my, okay, my bad. As a man who read the Speckled Band when I was in English class, you know, that story don't make no sense. Snakes, I don't think snakes can actually like hear, right? Or they have really poor hearing. It's one of those. They feel vibrations, but you can't. That's like one of the biggest plot holes in like in one of Sherlock Holmes' stories is that a guy did do this, but they're like, haha, he just used this flute and whistled the snake to attack this guy. But then it's like, snakes don't work like that. You can't teach a snake to do that because they can barely hear, like, at all. And it's just really funny that Conan Doyle somehow messed that up. Especially because he's a fucking genius, bro. Those stories are so wild. I love Sherlock Holmes stories. Okay. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the Speckled Band. But you know, suspension of disbelief, it don't matter that much. So they're all shook. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You solved the mystery! Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to its name. Let's see why Sherlock Holmes becomes such a household name. Hosanaga's, it'll never be consistent. That's just the facts. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable, as the Russians say. I could have done it with the one left hand. Do the Russians say that strong enough? Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? Can I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just, about your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all... Oh no, she's about to pull out the facts. Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madame. And reptiles, don't drink milk. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure if it's possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pebble will use some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Conan Doyle getting ripped apart for his logic in real time photo right here. Well, there's something else. Snakes have no ears. Yeah, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal a snake by whistling. But madame, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sound of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept to be practically useless. I'll take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There's one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat-belled cord like the ones in those cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next cabin door, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have been a part in this. Oh no, you broke him. I think we needed to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean. Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? They're gone. You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish I'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.